If you're a senior consumer that got turned down for final expense or burial insurance, you are definitely speaking to the wrong people. Hi, my name is Danny Ray, founder and CEO of InsuranceForBurial.com. If you're a senior consumer that has recently got turned down for diabetes for your final expense or burial insurance policies, you are probably talking to the wrong people. All right, there are over 1,000 final expense and burial insurance companies in this country. Okay, and a small fraction of them specialize in diabetics or diabetes, especially for senior consumers. Okay, with most importantly, that these ones that are very lenient to diabetes, what they look for is your age of diagnosis. Okay, that's important. We have carriers that will cover you under the age of 50, some under the age of 40, and some even under the age of 30 of diagnosis. So if you are age 26 and you have diabetes and you were diagnosed at 26, we can still get you coverage as long as there's no other underlying conditions. Okay, another things that insurance companies will look at, okay, is also going to be your treatment. Do you have any diabetes complications like retinopathy or neuropathy? These are things that will factor into whether or not certain insurance companies will cover you. Now, the more questions we ask you to qualify for these particular carriers that specialize in diabetes, okay, every question we ask is eliminating the carriers that we don't even want to do business with. Okay, at the end of the questions, we're going to have one carrier that's going to specialize in your specific profile. Okay, and our main goal is always to get you day one coverage, immediate coverage, without a waiting period. Okay, we're going to go over that in a moment, exactly how the breakdown is. Okay, so you have a better understanding how this works. And this way you're not discouraged anymore. That's really the most important thing. Okay, you've seen your clients out there, you've worked your whole lives, you've paid your dues, and all you want to do is just protect your family when that day comes. I know it's very frustrating sometimes where you can only get, or you think you can only get, a waiting period policy because that's all you see on TV with your late night, 985 plans, or what you're inundated with in your mailbox with index cards from companies like Globe and AARP. Okay, it's very frustrating. I talk to consumers, seniors all day long, and I understand your frustrations. But I'm here to tell you, you don't have to be frustrated anymore. Okay, so let's get into this. All right, so I always like to go ahead and back up things with facts. Okay, because diabetes, okay, is is a debilitating health impairment. I mean, I'm 49. I'm going to be 50 this year, and I'm a pre-diabetic. Okay, so I know it's frustrating. I know it's frustrating for me because it's the first time I've been diagnosed the last couple of years, and it was due to COVID. Before COVID, I had never had a high A1C, and I never had any kind of blood sugar issues. It was after diagnosed with COVID and having a really rough time with my COVID diagnosis that afterwards my A1C shot up into the mid-sevens. So, a lot of things may have factored into that. So let's get into this. First and foremost, I'm going to base everything off of age 65 because that's usually when a majority of the population, the senior population, is put on a fixed income. Okay, so I'm going to focus on that age. But before we do that, I want to go ahead and talk about diabetes. Okay, and how our carriers that we specialize with, okay, looks at diabetes. So I think it's very important that you should know. Okay. So when you're looking at diabetes, all right, with no complications, as you can see, a lot of insurance companies are going to cover you. Now, some of these insurance companies you're probably not aware of, okay, because you are inundated with so many different products from AARP and Globe and AAA and your Colonial Pens on the paid spokesmen on TV at night trying to offer you a plan that's just not worth the ink on the policy. So a lot of these carriers you're not familiar with, okay, like American Amicable, okay, but again, Aetna CVS Health, you can get a preferred rate, okay, a lot of carriers here. Okay, again, some of them, depending on insulin use, okay, but as you can see, many carriers will go ahead and offer you day one coverage, immediate coverage. Again, you just got to know who to speak to. Now, again, if you have complications of diabetes, all right, let's just go ahead and see diabetes with neuropathy. Okay, because I think this is important because once you start taking gabapentin, All right, let's go ahead and do diabetes neuropathy. There we go. All right, let's just say you had diabetes with neuropathy, which is the most common one. All right, you're going to see that many carriers you're going to have a hard time with, like American Amicable, return to premium. That's a waiting period policy. If treated within 3 years, graded, that's a waiting period policy. See these modified policies, waiting period. Okay, but again, you're going to come across some of these carriers, like our go-to when it comes to diabetic neuropathy is going to be Royal Neighbors. They're going to offer you level day one coverage. All right, so that's our go-to when it comes to diabetic neuropathy, or any complications with diabetes. All right, so you really gotta look at the health condition and what's going on with your diabetes, okay, to determine which carrier is going to be the best one for you. I'll give you an example. If you had amputation due to diabetes, okay, well then you're going to have a lot of people that are going to decline you. Now, of course, I'm bringing this to the extreme so you have a better understanding. All right, but there are some carriers that will give you a graded policy. That's a 1 year waiting period. Okay, but again, a majority of them will be a decline or modified. All right, but again, if you're going ahead and you're getting, let's just go ahead and do a mock-up here. Let's just say you're a diabetic, 65 years old, looking for $10,000 in coverage, right? You've had diabetes. Let's go ahead and put your age in here, 65 years old. Let's just say you've had diabetes. Let's see, diabetes. All right, and you've had diabetes for a while. You don't have any complications, okay? So let's just go ahead and say you're 65 years old. So let's say you got diagnosed. Let's say we get diagnosed at age 49. Okay, so 65 years old, that'll be 16 years from now. Okay, so let's go ahead and that'll be 2007, I do believe, right? So, and again, date of diagnosis, let's see here, date of last treatment, that's going to be today. Okay, 2007 was the last when you were diagnosed. Let's just put this behind us. Insulin use, let's just say, yeah, you're taking insulin. Okay, let's just say you're taking 75 units a day. Okay, let's say you're taking 60 units a day. Okay, and then let's just say combined, let's see here. Age of insulin started, let's just say you're age 60, okay? And then total units per day, let's just say you're taking 75 units a day. And with your diabetes uncontrolled the past 3 years, let's just say it was. Let's just say 2 years ago it was uncontrolled. Okay, was it controlled the last 2 years? No, you've got it under control. Okay, has your diabetic medications changed? I'm showing you this because this is some of the stuff that, to get the best rate for a diabetic, this is the kind of question you got to answer. Okay, has any prospect ever had diabetic medication dosages and medications in the past year? Let's just say, since you had complications a couple years back, the last 2 years you've been good. Okay, so let's say, no, there hasn't been any medication changes because they figured it out. In the process right now, let's just say you're taking just 3 medications. Or just say you're taking 2 right now. Okay, you're taking 3 or more? No. Okay, what was the most recent A1C? Let's just say your A1C was 7.5. Now you got the diabetes complications, right? So let's just say you're taking Humalog. All right. Okay, no complications. All right, you've been taking that for 2 years, right? And how many insulin units a day? Let's just say you're taking 50 units of this a day. And uncontrolled diabetes in the past 3 years? Yes. Not in the last 2 years, though. A1C is below 8. Let's say you're taking metformin. All right. So this way you have a general idea. No complications right now today. Okay. But taking the metformin, let's just say you've been taking that since diagnosis. So 2007, we're going to say you're 49 years old. All right. 2007, say 13, 14, 15. So yeah, let's say in your late 40s. Okay. Controlled diabetes, yes. Uncontrolled in the last 2 years, no. Okay. Diabetic medications, not in the last year because everything's stable and your A1C is below that. Let's even say that, you know what, you're taking a low dose of lisinopril. All right. Lisinopril, a second here, and that's for the blood pressure, also a maintenance for the cholesterol. All right, so you've been taking the lisinopril, let's just say you've been taking that since 2010. All right, and atorvastatin. Okay, cholesterol, these are the most common medications for a diabetic that's had it for a while. Did a last use, that's okay. All right, so you're a diabetic, you had some complications in the past, you went ahead and you straightened things out for yourself, and age 65, you're looking for 10,000 in coverage. All right, and again, you're doing well and everything else, and this is what we're going to be looking at here. Don't look at this whole life, because this is obviously you wouldn't be covered for that. Okay, this is simplified whole life. So you got preferred. So you're taking 75 units a day of insulin. Okay, you're taking 2 medications for diabetes. All right, you've been diabetic since you were in your 40s, and look at all this. You got Liberty Bankers Life, take you all day long, preferred. SBLI preferred. These are day one coverage policies. All right, you can get any one of these carriers we can write for you. I'm contracted and appointed with every one of these insurance companies. So again, diabetes, again, if you're getting declined from carriers in the past, or you're just getting offered, these 2-year waiting period policies, you got to keep in mind those graded policies are 30 to 50% more. Okay, so you really got to make sure. I mean, these are all level policies that we can get you today. Okay, today. These are a lot of carriers to choose from. Okay, so again, it's really, really important that you know which carrier to go to, and that's what we specialize here. As you can see, I mean, if you had diabetes in the past and you had complications a few years ago, you're taking 75 units of insulin and metformin, blood pressure, cholesterol. Okay, as you can see, I just showed you an example. We can get you day one coverage, immediate coverage from multiple insurance companies. Okay, so we specialize in health impairments. We can do this for many other things as well, not just diabetes. Okay, so again, if you've been turned down in the past for diabetes, for burial insurance, final expense insurance, funeral insurance, end of life insurance, okay, they're all the same. They're simplified issued whole life policies. But if you've been diagnosed with diabetes and you've been declined in the past because of that diabetes, you're talking to the wrong people. All right. Here at insuranceforburial.com, we're experts when it comes to stuff like this. We're not a call center. We handle every client with a fine tooth and comb and white gloves. It's all about the relationship with us. Okay, me and my lovely wife, Lisa Marie Monaco, okay, we are the founders of this for insuranceforburial.com, which is a division of Pinnacle Quote, which I'm the owner of. Okay, so again, we specialize in customer service. All right, we don't try to sell you, we try to service you. We want to answer every question that you have, because I'm sure you have a lot of them. I'm sure you're frustrated and maybe you just want to know why. And we're here for you. That's what we do. We love to answer questions. All right. And the flip side of that, we want to show you what's available for you as well. Okay. Again, you guys have worked all your lives. All right. Not to go ahead and overpay for things. In fact, matter of fact, you should be overpaying for anything, especially your burial and final expense insurance. All right. So again, if you've ever been declined in the past, or if you're just discouraged because you have diabetes and maybe you're just like, oh, I'm never going to get burial insurance, I'm not going to be able to get any kind of insurance, don't think that way. Give Danny and Lisa a call. Okay. We will go ahead and sit you down. We'll answer any questions you have, and we'll hold you by your hand. Okay. To make sure that you have the very best policy for your situation. That's what we do here. It's all about the relationship. It's not about the sale. It's about servicing you. All right, so give us a call anytime, okay? Click on the link below, go to our website, look around, okay? And when we do speak, I hope you got a lot of questions for me, all right? Hope you have a great day.